What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping into another video. My name is Trayton, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, and behind me is my 2005 Mustang GT, also known as Comp 3 Valve on Instagram if you want to check me out there. But I'm making another video today. Today's going to be kind of a fun one. I've done something new to the car that I've been really excited about and really enjoying lately. So the 05 to 10 Mustangs are known for a few things. Some good, some bad, but one of the good things that these cars are very well known for is the exhaust. So that's exactly what I've done. I've switched up my exhaust for this is now my 7th exhaust that I've ever had on this car. Yes, 7 different ones. And currently it's about as good as it has ever been. And the only thing that I think I can really do to make it any better is long tubes and cams. So, previously, in any of my previous videos you've watched, it's had a catless X pipe with the factory headers, manifolds, however you want to say that. And then I had some SSS Terminator mufflers, which were solid. They were really good. I liked them a lot. But I have changed it up to something a little bit higher end, I guess, if you could say. So what I did was hopped onto the Car Guys Kryptonite of Facebook Marketplace and picked myself up a set of the Corsa Extreme axle back mufflers. Now you'll notice too, these tips are a little angled, I guess you could say. A little different shape to them. And that's because these specific axle back mufflers I got were not originally for the 2005 Mustang like I have. It was for an 11 to 14, which has a more rounded rear end to it. So the tips are kind of angled like that to kind of adapt to that shape. But I was able to get them to work, get these mufflers to work on it. There's a few changes you have to make. The over axle pipes, like what connects to the mufflers on the 2011 to 14 cars, is 2 3/4 inch diameter pipe, and on these cars it's 2.5. So I took it to a guy who does some exhaust work, and he just made a little adapter pipe. I'll pop a little picture up on screen. Basically just changed the diameter for the inlet of the muffler so that it would fit my over axle pipes, and then just had to change the route of the hangers as well. And other than that, it was pretty straightforward to get put on. I just jumped inside the car here for a second just because I know it's a little bit windy out there and there's some cars passing by. I'm sitting next to like a highway over here just because I've got this nice little stretch of road in front of me, as you can see. So I'll be able to get you guys some good exhaust clips here soon. But before I do that, I kind of want to say, why did I end up buying these mufflers that don't even originally fit my car, that I can't just bolt on? Basically because I paid 350 bucks for them. And for mufflers, that's still a fair amount of money. For Corsa Extremes, that's not a lot of money. If I were to go online and just buy a brand new set of Corsa Extremes for the 05 Mustang, or even the ones that are on the car, they're over $1,000. I think up to like $1,200, depending on where you get them from, which is a lot. More than I would ever pay for just a set of mufflers. For 350 bucks, I had to at least give them a try. And don't worry, I will definitely get to the as many good exhaust clips as I can here shortly. But I wanted to say, like, ahead of time, one thing that I am super impressed with, and that Corsa kind of advertises and is known for, is the no drone. And it is true. There is like 0 drone inside of this cabin when I'm driving the car. Windows up, windows down. All the noise is just coming straight out the back of the car. I don't hear it and feel it inside and have that just low humming, brain rattling, droning noise that you'll get with so many other not as high-end mufflers. And I really think that's something that Corsa and some of these other top brands out there, I know there's other ones that can do it too, but Corsa does a fantastic job at creating a muffler that can still be ridiculously loud, and it's not droning ridiculously bad inside the cabin. Since having these mufflers, I've been really curious to know, once I kind of realized how true it was, the whole no drone thing, I was very curious to know like how that actually works. So I did some research and I was able to like find some videos of kind of how it works, and it's really actually impressive because it's like a patented design that they have on their mufflers, which is really cool. And I'm going to just read straight off of Google, but it basically says they have no drone technology, which uses a specific acoustic design to cancel out low frequency sound waves that cause drone. The technology redirects exhaust sound, sending the waves out of phase with themselves in a precisely engineered chamber, canceling the annoying head-pounding sound at cruising speeds without restricting exhaust flow or reducing performance. So I'm gonna put a little picture up on like I found like some pictures of what does the inside of like a Corsa muffler look like, and so here's what that looks like. And as you can see, they have like all these little like chambers or channels that supposedly like bounces the sound waves off of each other and cancels it out in some fancy way that I'm not smart enough to truly understand, but it works. That's what it comes down to, is it works, and it works really well. So sound alone is great, and we'll get to that, but just the quality that you get and the pleasant experience of being inside the car with these mufflers, even when they're making the crazy amount of noise that they do, is really, really impressive. So I understand why they're so expensive new. And I also feel really good about my decision of only paying, you know, the 350 bucks that I paid for them. So anyways, that's enough yapping. I'm sure you guys want to just hear kind of what it sounds like, and I'd like to show you. So I'll start by just doing, well, you'll see. We'll see what we do. All right, I went ahead and put the camera back here behind the car, so we'll give it a little start up. It's not a cold start, obviously. I drove the car here to where I am, but I'll give it some revs and you know, give it a little takeoff and try and put it through some different scenarios so you can really hear how these mufflers sound. Well, hopefully though it was good enough videos for y'all to be able to get a good understanding of how this thing sounds in a few different scenarios. I'm gonna get some more clips, but I just, this is a great spot to do this. I just kind of this like long access road right next to this highway. So, but yeah, I feel like I center pretty good for y'all. So, I mean, I've got my tire marks on the road for quite a ways all the way up there. So I'm yet to ask this in a video, but it'd be really cool if you guys would subscribe. It kind of shows me how many people are actually really interested in seeing more of my stuff, because I do plan on having, you know, more videos, and it'd be cool for me to see how many people actually want to see more of this car. So here's a couple little idle clips for you. It sounds pretty good. Just imagine if there were cams though. Cams and long tubes would make it be absolutely ridiculously insane. And one day, hopefully I can make a video on that. One thing I find kind of funny about this whole process with these new mufflers on. So I've only had one single issue with them ever since I got them put on, and that is this absolutely obnoxious and ridiculous squeak that I've been having coming from the back of this car that I could not figure out for the first little bit of having it. I drove this car down to Mustang week and it just would not stop squeaking. It sounded like there was like 14 crickets underneath my car at different scenarios. So I replaced one of the clamps that was on there because I thought maybe that was just loose and it was just making a little bit of a squeaking noise there. Didn't fix anything. So I ended up taking a little can of WD-40 and spraying the hangers, the little rubber bushings on the exhaust hangers for the mufflers. And one of those is actually squeaking like really, really bad. I just confirmed it's like the rear one because I literally just laid down here on the ground and sprayed it, and as soon as I did that, the squeak stopped. I should have got the squeak on video, but I didn't. But yeah, before, even sitting here at idle, you could just hear it. It was just this constant like chirping noise coming from right there, and as soon as I just sprayed that rear hanger, it just immediately stopped. So I know WD-40 is not like the ideal thing to do that with. It's just what I had, you know, to diagnose, and I've got other hangers, so I'm just going to replace that one at some point here. But for now, every now and then I'm just spraying a little bit of this on there until I get around to pulling that off. sounds good inside. Yeah. Sounds really good inside. The windows down. Windows down, you put your foot down, it screams. There's nothing better than like a nice exhaust on a V8 that screams, especially a 3-valve. You just can't go wrong. So if you're debating on putting any exhaust on your car, definitely do it. I can recommend the Corsa Extremes. No, I don't think I'd pay $1,200 for them, but $350, find them on Marketplace. I even actually know some people that have taken the mufflers from the S550, the Corsa Extremes that go on the S550, and been able to fabricate those on. Now that I'm sure is going to take a little bit more work, but those mufflers are way easier to find, you know, on Marketplace. I see them for sale all the time. So I mean, that's another option to look to. I'd be curious to know if there's actually like a difference between the different year models and what they offer. You know, the ones for the 3 valves for the 11 to 14 cars, and then the S550s. I wouldn't imagine there's much of a difference. I've seen all of them, and they kind of all, the actual muffler itself looks similar. I think it's just the piping that goes to and from. So yeah, these things are awesome. They sound great. It's a very like sharp noise. I don't even want to say raspy. Like, they are raspy for sure, but sometimes raspy is like associated too much with just like annoying and messy, and like it's not a clean tone. But this is a very sharp, crisp, clean like sound to it, but it just also is just like ear piercing at the same time. I've been able to give a few of my buddies the fortunate or unfortunate experience of driving right next to me with their windows down, and everyone I've done that to has had to hold up kind of their hand to their ear and say that it kind of hurts. So it's definitely loud, very, very loud. It's so nice, it's so pleasant in here to have something that doesn't drone. And my last setup didn't really drone that bad. But when you get something that doesn't drone at all, you notice just the difference in how that is. So it's very nice. But if you've got a passenger, you guys can just sit here and just have a nice conversation normally. So I'd have to say with confidence, I mean, I feel like there's kind of 3 main things you look for when you're looking for an exhaust, and that's volume, quality, and I guess just the in-cabin experience. And I think this checks all boxes for me. I know I'm sure other mufflers out there. I'd love to one day try Borla. Borla's always been kind of a bucket list muffler for me to try, the attacks. Yeah, I'd love to try a set of Borla attacks and see how they compare. I think that they would volume-wise be about the same. Tone would be a little bit different, but I don't see how the inside cabin is going to be just as nice of an experience as it is in here with these Corsas. I'd be very curious to compare the two. So who knows? Maybe one day I will get my hands on a set, but I can't think of anything anytime soon that is going to make me want to take these mufflers off for anything other than maybe just comparison. But I think these might be the top dogs, I gotta be honest. So one thing I can definitely confirm, they aren't good for your gas mileage. It's real hard to keep your foot out of it. So fun. It's just so fun. Yeah, I'm at about a half a tank right now. In this entire half tank, I've averaged 13.7 miles per gallon, and I know it'll hit 20s on the highway, so I've been enjoying it, we'll just say that. Well, I've made it back to my home base, and that's going to kind of wrap up the video, I guess. Hopefully you all enjoyed getting to hear this. Corsa is not, I think, a super common thing to hear on these cars, so and I know there's not a lot on YouTube about it for sure, so hopefully if you're looking at them, this helps you make a decision. I would say yes. I'd appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram as well. That's kind of where I'm most active, and you'll see most updates about the car. But this YouTube thing's been fun, different form of content, so I'm enjoying it. And let me know in the comments what you think. Again, thank you for watching, and hopefully we will see you in the next one.